Yes, ma'am.
I'm
Loud and
going
clear.
ahead. Yeah. Mm. Okay. So see here, today this is Unit 8, early 20th century poetry and Arbindo. So how spirituality and transformation, symbolism and mysticism in Arbindo, and focusing on Savitri, we will be coming to understand Arbindo's poetry and his poems in different forms, right? Arbindo Ghosh is that's the name. Then after some time, after because of his works and all his contributions, he was called as Sri Arbindo as a respect, right? Arvindo Ghosh was an active participant in the freedom movement. He'd spent some years in prison, having been arrested for his activities. Later, around 1910, he announced his retirement from politics and turned to spiritual pursuits. His major works in philosophy and metaphysics include The Life Divine, Essays on the Gita, and the Human Cycle. Aurobindo believed that human beings would evolve into something higher through a transformation of psychic being, his very spirit, and finally a complete transformation of mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual aspects of the human. So, a learned commentator on Hinduism and philosophy, this is very, very important. When you are giving an introduction to Aurobindo, please do remember it's not like a superstition, but he's a very learned scholar and he understands the philosophy of Hinduism, and he is very, very important, not only in just a few years in freedom movement, but specifically in understanding philosophy in different ways, that is emotionally, physically, and mentally. He thought that is one of the paths, spirituality is one of the path that human evolution happens. So this is very important for Arbindo. He is a well-read person and widely published. And even today, we understand it's understanding his philosophy. We can see vibrant campuses in different parts of India as well as in abroad, where you call it as this is Aravillo, right? Aravindo's, especially in Pondicherry, we can see that. And some have contributed to the domain not only in literature but also in philosophy and history of ideas. Arvindo's poetry explored the experience of divine, human consciousness, and spirituality. See, that's the greatness of Arvindo when it comes to divinity and human consciousness and spirituality. So, religion is different from spirituality. Many people get confused. Religion is a path, that's all, but spirituality is something beyond that. You understand the human being with a constant consciousness rather than in any religion for that matter. It's a path that you're going to reach and realize one's own self. That is spirituality, right? His epic Savitri was based on the story of Satyavan and Savitri from Mahabharata, but was essentially poem about the transformation of the self into a higher order of being. So several of his poems are similar about the transformation of the self. You understand it's a very deep kind of philosophy is there in that small, though the stories has got a very thin line, but you can see how Arvindo tried to see the philosophy behind the story, right? So the limit of the body and thought, the body and its thought that prevent the true transformation, the intensity of a spiritual experience, a final transformation where the human evolves into something akin to the divine. So someone, this all his poems are specifically about the body and thought, thinking process, right? Understanding one's own body and trying to evolve over a period of time. That's what we can see in his poems. What Aurobindo underscores is extremely short nature of spiritual experience in his essay Divine and Human. So you can, a lot of collections of poems were published by Sri Aurobindo, but in spite of all that, this is very specific when it comes to essays, in his essays on divine and human. So how human evolves over a period of time in the consciousness, and how he or she becomes, or the person becomes divine himself or herself. If mankind could not see through in a glimpse of fleeting experience what infinite enjoyment, what perfect forces, what luminous reaches of spontaneous knowledge, what white claims of a being live watching for us in the track, which our animal evolution has not yet conquered. They would leave all and never rest till they had gained these treasures. So, see, this is directly a paragraph, quote unquote. You can see the spontaneous knowledge. See, what illuminate reaches of illumination means? What is illumination? What is illumination? What is luminous? Are you with me, my dear students?
No, ma'am.
Then what is it? What is luminous?
Self-luminous enlightenment. Enlightenment or
okay. Or
enlightenment or light on ourselves.
yes, yes, light is also yes. So this is more an inner strength, and that you search for certain time, and it's not exactly visible to us, but we feel it, right? So this kind of empowering one's own self and transformation, these are the things that he's very particular about. Spontaneous knowledge, you can see how the words are, it's not just words, but it make you think. That's a greatness of Aurobindo, right? Someone of the heavenly root from behind the veil ran out. The veil is perhaps a human tendency to rationalize, and this prevents the heavenly and divine from emerging in us. So all the time we are very specific about logic and reasoning when it comes to science. When it comes to religion and faith and belief takes a stand, right? So whenever to a constant, whatever the perceived notions are there, that means what we understand, we observe, the pre-notions, that's what we call, I don't want to make it very complicated, but simple experiences in life, we believe over a period of time. So that is going to prevent you to go beyond that. That's a logic behind what Aurobindo trying to say, that the veil is perhaps the human tendency to rationalize, and it prevents the heavenly or divine from emerging in us. That's so, in one way or the other, he's speaking on spirituality. A more direct poem about transformation is Transformation. Aurobindo begins with a very physical image of breathing. My breath runs in a subtle rhythmic stream. So this is very philosophical, at the same time mundane as well. See, what do we do now? What we are all doing, whether with our knowledge or without our knowledge, inhale and exhale. Are we doing it or not? All of us here.
Yes, ma'am.
I can see almost 15. Yes, we are all doing inhale and exhale without our knowledge. Whether you know about that or not, you are not aware of it, but still we are doing. That's the reason we are alive. All of us are alive. The moment the breathing stops, you're going to have trouble. Within no time, the person, if the breathing has stopped, then it is called as a body, not a living being, right? So my breath runs in a subtle rhythmic stream. The observation of breathing is what we call the concentration. See, when you are very happy, your heartbeat is very very comfortable and normal stage. When you are undergone some stress, or when you are undergoing some stress, what will happen to your heartbeat? Any idea what will happen to the heartbeat of when you are extreme stress? What will happen to that? And the hands will sweat. Yes, yes. So this you should understand. I think this people is, my voice is clear for you. Your voice is very feeble for me. I don't know for what reasons these people have done some. This is technical things are very very difficult. Now is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now I can see that that icon is not open. Yeah, good, great. So for you, my voice is clear. I want to reach you because that's the only way that I can reach you, by the voice. So whenever you find difficulty, immediately you can respond to me or you can text me back. Okay. Yeah, my breath runs in a subtle rhythmic stream. Yeah, thank you. So it's important for any human being to understand one's own body. So listen to your body. That's what nowadays the modern, especially the health sector, especially, listen to your body. See, just we ignore the body, right? For many reasons, we ignore the body. uh, oh my God. Second year class is not going on. Constantly, students are calling me back. Yeah, we understand the difficulty. And see, whenever you take up any responsibility, I think all of you are listening to me, and I am having great confidence in all of you. Try to stick to that schedules. In the course of time, you are also going to become counselors for us. Whoever interested, they can come and approach me. But what I request is consistency in life. Today, I'm running with high fever, but in spite of that, I wanted to take the class for you so that it should not be a waste of time for the students as well as to the others. That commitment should be there. But for unfortunately, in our many of our counselors, for one reason or the other, they just keep quiet and students get worried about it. Anyway, I don't want to go the other track. I think you all can understand the personal and physical and a lot of difficulties that happens with one way or the other. Right. Okay. 1 second. Just hold on. 1 second. Yeah, now I am here. Okay. So you can see the page number, the same page. Once the body is open to the unknown and the supreme through rigorous training, transformation proceeds smoothly. When the poem ends, Aurobindo speaks of this transformation as going beyond the body of exceeding the body's limit. I am no more a vessel of flesh, a slave to nature, but laden rule. I am caught no more in the senses narrow mesh. The body seems thought process are all according to Aurobindo's narrow. They limit the potential of human being. They remain rooted in the material and the everyday. In his essay, The Essence of Poetry, Aurobindo makes this clear. For neither the intelligence, the imagination, nor the ear are the true or at least the deepest or highest recipients of the poetic delight. Even as they are not its true or highest creators, the true here is the soul there. That is, it is beyond the head which is seat of intellect. My soul, unhorizon widens to measureless sight. My body is God's happy living too. My spirit, a vast sun of deathless light. Here the body serves God, the divine, by becoming a space for the divine to reside. The soul knows no limit, unhorizon, not the sense of limitless that Aurobindo underlines, measureless and deathless. The poem is about transcendence, about altering the nature of the body. Nature of the body. Yeah, transcendence, about altering the nature of the body and the soul so that the limit of the body and soul are overcome. See, I'm just trying to see from the textbook point of view where the poems are given in a different angle, especially the perceptions differ from one poem to the other poem. how the body, soul, physical and mental, emotional balance we can see in Aurobindo's poems, right? Okay. So what kind of symbolism and mysticism is there in Aurobindo? You can see from next is 8.3, how Aurobindo, Savitri's journey in Aurobindo's serves as a metaphor of journey through which she discovers herself. It's not only searching, or it is not the questioning of Satyavan, but also Savitri discovers herself. All the time what we think is reaching the pinnacle is important. That means when we put certain effect and we are going towards a goal, success will come to us maybe a little early or later times. But the journey is also very important, because all the experiential knowledge is all about the journey. We learn certain things, we grow as person. Always do remember, achieving MA English or whatever the graduations you have done, it's not only the certificate, but what kind of travel you have done, what kind of engagement you have with the subject knowledge, or how much you learned, what you are able to gain by the course is important, right? So the same way, Savitri is not only going to get the Satyavan back, that is a victory for her as a mythological story, but the journey of Savitri makes her to realize about her own self. Is it clear? Is it clear for all of you, my dear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. 8.4 Savitri. Aurobindo in his epic poem, it has 12 books, 48 cantos, and 23,000 lines. Do remember, Savitri is a very, very simple one, but it takes a lot of concentration of yours. Though it looks complex, it is very simple. That's the reason it's philosophical, it is spiritual, it's not religious. Do remember, there is a difference between religion and spirituality. Any form of religion is only a path, whereas spirituality is something which is close to your soul. So you, once you realize that, then you're very close to the nature, and you, every human being comes from nature, and we again go back to nature. That's a cycle that happens all the time. Within that small period of time, how aware of you, how conscious are you of your body, life and lifestyle. Even in the modern age, we can see how Savitri can be related. For example, when you go to a doctor, and you'll be a lot of different difficulties. Maybe you got fever, or you're a little tired, or corona pandemic happened. Lot of doctors, especially the medical point of view, and the medical point, that kind of a support will always be there. But parallelly, all the people are supporting for a lifestyle changes, right? This word is very, very common nowadays. You need lifestyle change. That means you should not be lethargic, move around, and go for a walk, or join something new, do the gardening, or talk to people. See, all these things are very normal 40, 50 years back. It was like we are all together. We used to have the people around us. We used to talk to each other. But nowadays, because of various lifestyle changes, we sit for a long time, we work for a long time, we work against the nature also. See, naturally, when the light is there, that means morning 6 o'clock to evening somewhere around 6:37, we find natural light, that is sun is there, that is daytime. And nighttime is, which is very quiet, calm, and you don't find any light. And naturally, every being should go for rest. That means human beings will sleep, some other creatures will be very active, but we are not nocturnal. We are generally, we wanted to, the human body is in such a way designed, it is designed, right? So naturally, after 12 years to 13 years of, 12 hours to 14 hours of work, naturally the body should go for the rest. But because of various reasons, because of various lifestyles, people are not doing that properly. Eating food at 7, 8 and 9 is the max that we can take the food. That's what doctors say. Change your lifestyle. Change in the lifestyle is needed. You should eat, specifically break the fast. That means you have to eat something after 8 hours of a long, 6 to 7 to 8 hours of, your stomach is completely empty, and break the fast. And after that, you take some food, which is, it's like breakfast should be heavy, so that you are going to have a long period of time. Go for a walk. Don't sit in a one place. Talk to people. If you have some difficulty, or read the newspaper. How many have got this habit of reading newspapers? We hardly have. And we don't have even attention span also. See, I'm speaking about poem here, philosophy here, about the body and the mind clash here, and at the same time religion and philosophy. See, this all comes into one way or the other, the umbrella term in Savitri, right? So Savitri is an epic poem. It's a very long poem, and definitely it is complex. But at the same time, when you start enjoying the poetry, and especially the poems of the Aurobindo, understanding the philosophy of Aurobindo, then you start enjoying that, like, honey bites, or you can say like, you enjoy that bit of knowledge, or we can call knowledge chocolates, right? The battle of spirit against the focus of mortality. And one thing is that in any religion, for that matter, you don't have space for hate. Okay, so any religion, you name it, no one said to hate others. It's only the compassion that religion teaches us. But in between, because of various human elements, because humans create certain kinds of hating each other, and you start yelling at the others. See, when you are very quiet and calm, you compose the words, and only with one word you can mesmerize the people. Isn't it so? You talk to them happily. And even sometimes the silence is also very good. People will understand your silence also. But when you lose your temperament, when you lose specifically the focus, you start shouting at the others. So you are becoming very far from your heart. I mean, that is a basic nature. When you are not yourself, you start shouting. When you are happy, you don't shout. Do you agree with me with this statement? When you're happy with yourself, when you are quiet and calm, you don't shout, right? And when you are not happy, when you are whatever the desire you have, it is not fulfilled, or expectations are not fulfilled. For example, you thought the work will be completed by 4 o'clock, but that is not completed by the particular individual. Then immediately you feel, a kind of aversion towards that person or for that situation, and you start yelling at that. So by yelling at it, you are not hurting others, but you are hurting your own self. That's a pitiable condition for any human being. But it takes a lot of time for us to understand yelling is not good. It is very simple, but complex to understand. And it is not complex because it is a very simple phenomenon. I'm telling something which is very, very philosophical, but trust you are all enjoying it. Am I with you?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. The battle of the spirit again is the forces of mortality. Because, Aurobindo is one such a wonderful poet that you love reading it. Like, just remember your favorite food, and which you wanted to have it at a very young age. Not now. Now you're mature, you're experienced, and you no more have that zeal, to go and grab something and eat. You are well mannered now. But when you are a child and when you are innocent, you have that passion for, kind of, whatever might be the case, it is eating or getting some food or going out, enjoying. The passion will be there for a child, because two things. It's 100% participation. The moment we grow, we draw certain lines for our own standards, because the society set the standards, and we should not go beyond that. That's what we were said, and we were trained also. Now you're all 20 plus or 25 plus or 30 plus, or maybe some of you are 40 plus as well. So you have ample experiences in life that stops you to not go beyond that. But certain times it is important even to go inward journey. That means, see just inside yourself. Am I happy? I just want to ask you, all of you, this question. Okay? Am I happy? At this moment, am I happy? Okay? Write in a paper. What is bothering me? What is bothering me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Yes, definitely certain things will be there which are not. Okay. The other page. Take another page. Why certain things give happiness to me? And what are the blessings in my life? Right? See the blessings in your life. That means how many happy periods used to be there. Okay. So when you remember the happy moments, see your own face, observe your own breath, you feel very happy about it. That's what Savitri is about. And the journey of the Savitri is not only for Satyavan. Who is Satyavan?
Savitri's husband.
Savitri's husband, ma'am.
Yeah, Savitri's husband, because he was taken by the Yama, and she wants to get her husband back. So she was trying to the conversation between the Yama and Savitri is very, very physical and very, very philosophical. Okay, so in the process of acquiring, in the process of getting Satyavan back, she discovers herself. Okay, what is the homework that I gave now? Right away. How many will respond? Let me see. What is that I asked you to do right away?
Write to pages, ma'am. First page is like what you're happy with, you're blessed with.
What is bothering me? What is bothering?
Yes,
certain
right?
things which give us happiness.
And what is there to last but not the least? The last page is, how can I celebrate my life this moment? See, celebration is not a party. Okay, celebration is awareness. Okay, the last thing is, how can I celebrate this moment? That means this moment, am I happy? Yes, I'm very happy. If I'm not happy, accept it. Why I'm not happy? What should I do? If I am happy, then be happy with. Happiness is not a thing, but it's a feeling that gives a passion towards life, that gives a fulfillment towards life. That's what the poem Savitri is all about. The battle of spirit. Are you with me? Is it okay for you? Are you understanding the poem?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. The battle of spirit again is the forces of mortality, the manifestation of divine spirit within the human, the power to transform and transcend human boundaries and limitations. Full of mystic imagery and complex symbolism, Aurobindo's Savitri is an epic of human transformation. See, it is a human transformation. You can see that 8.4 point, right? 8.4 Savitri. That's where I'm dealing with you. What Aurobindo himself wrote as a note to poem in worth quoting. The tale of Satyavan and Savitri is recited in the Mahabharata as a story of conjugal love conquering death. But this legend is as shown by many features of human tale of many symbolic myths of the Vedic cycle. Satyavan is the soul carrying the divine truth of being within itself, but descended into the grip of death and ignorance. And Savitri is the divine word, daughter of sun, goddess of supreme truth, who comes down in born to save. Ashwapati, the lord of horse, her human father, is the lord of tapasya. See, all this is about, it's very symbolic, remember. We may how to relate one's own life with literature. That's what I'm trying to tell from the day one with all of you. How you can see Savitri in your own, not only as a mythological story, but she is a source of life, because sun is light. What is light? Light is life. Do you understand that? Without light, we don't have food. Without food, we cannot exist. And without our existence, human race is not going to, for that matter, any living being cannot be there if the sun, in the absence of sun, right? So light is a source of life, and sun is a god. We consider him as god because the divinity is there in that, right? I can see the divinity even in a small leaf, because the leaf is something which is giving happiness, and the leaf is showing the strength of life, existence, and the willpower to expand. That means it's constantly changing selflessly. We think like trees have some selfishness, that they give a lot of flowers to us, fruits to us. Do they expect anything from us? Is nature expecting anything from us? No, no. The same.
No, ma'am.
Yes, yes. That's what we should learn from nature. That's what we should learn from even animals as well. See, they never lose their natural. They don't talk to you. Any animal for that matter. From ages together, animal is just behaving like an animal. Whereas human being sometimes, behaves like a divine. That means giving others, sharing with the others, expanding the horizon, compassion towards the other. This is all the qualities of nature, right? But when you degrade yourself by shouting without any reason, or involving in violence, then the status of a human being, they degrade themselves to animal state of mind. That means it's only food and just a life and a death. So that should not happen. And in Aurobindo, you can see how Satyavan and Savitri's story is recited, and how Satyavan is, the name itself is Satyavan, truth. Truth don't need any evidences, right? It itself is a manifestation. Whether you accept it or not, truth is truth, right? It's difficult to understand Savitri, but you will enjoy reading that the moment you start with a deep thought. I want you to think about it. And I don't know whether you're reading or not. I'm every day like a typical teacher. I'm asking you to read and read. Okay. So please do read Savitri, and we are going for the next one called as Sarojini Naidu. We don't have that much of time. I think we are left with 10 more minutes. I'll be just, having a bird's eye view of Sarojini Naidu. Especially with the Indian landscapes, romanticism and lyrical poetry, and how her nationalism and poetry is intermingled. Okay. Page number 63 or unit 9. I don't know which page number you have.
58, ma'am.
58, ma'am. Very good. Very good. So go for 58, page number. Sarojini Naidu's Indian landscapes. Naidu's achievement was to use everyday sights and sounds, familiar objects and events, convert them into symbols and poetic subjects. Her poetry is clearly romantic because works with everyday life and subjects, converts these everyday subjects into symbols for something larger. So Sarojini Naidu's specific observation is, it's not like it's not about imagination, but everyday life is reflected in her poetry, right? Use nature and landscape to convey ideas, align natural setting and events to deeper emotions, has a romantic idealism of death, nature, and scenery, is interested in her sentimental responses to setting themselves. See, we can see Planquin Bearers in his poem. In this poem, Naidu uses a common plate object and everyday sight during her time to compose an extraordinary poem. Planquin Bearers. Who are these Planquin Bearers? Bearers are carrying a bridge along. The image she uses was very clearly arranged to emphasize, lightly, we bear her along. She sways like a flower in the wind of our song. She skims like a bird on the foam of a stream. She floats like a laugh from the lips of a dream. Gaily, oh gaily, we glide and we sing. We bear her along like a pearl on a string. Softly, oh softly, we bear her along. She hangs like a star in the dew of her song. She springs like a barn on the brow of the tide. She falls like a tear from the eyes of a bridge. Lightly, oh lightly, we glide and we sing. We bear her along like a pearl on a string. You can see the last two lines. We bear her along like a pearl on a string. And that's what, again, repeated twice. Whereas it is gaily, oh gaily, we glide and we sing. Lightly, oh lightly, we glide and we sing. See, the repetition of, because of the rhyme and the rhythm, maybe we are just missing out the, it's great and important for us to understand her poetry from a very normal life. The visuals are very simple, and it's a day-to-day life is portrayed in her Sarojini. It's not an imaginary, it is not very philosophical, but it is idealizing the romanticism we can see in her poetry. The next one is this was from Planquin Bearers. We are coming to Bangle Sellers. on those days. Just remember 30 years back when malls are not there, when the shopping complexes are not there, people used to come with vegetable vendors, used to come in the streets, like, salt people used to come, and vegetable people used to come, toys used to come, sweet, lot of people used to come. This is the street vendors. And it's a livelihood. The same way, bangle sellers used to come on the roads, and in every part of India, we used to see the bangle sellers. Nowadays, many of you may not be understanding, maybe the youngsters who are very young, like 1920, you might have never seen, but even in villages, even now we can see bangle sellers. Do you agree with me? We don't find any kind of bangle sellers in cities because we are into mall culture. Mall means especially hi-fi, high funda, the shopping malls where you don't find any bargain, you don't find even choice also. It's a very, very monotonous. Okay, let me come back to this bangle sellers. On those days, it is very simple issue. She uses the small traveling traders as a subject, the bangle sellers, not just ornaments, they sell values, beliefs, and faith. Thus, the sellers sing the merits and appropriateness of each colored bangle. See, the color of that particular bangle symbolizes certain, there is an importance for that camp, even the bangles also. If you maybe, I don't know how many might have gone to a village or you belong to village, the bangle sellers have got interesting stories to tell us. Why? What is the significance of red? What is the significance of green? What is the significance of pale colored? See, red and yellow goes together. Red and orange goes together. Green goes together. Why such a kind of colors? So what kind of beliefs and value system they get to their business as well as to the life? Some are meet for a maiden dress, silver and blue as the mountain is. Some are like fields of sunlit corn, meet for a bride on her bridal morn. Some like the flames of her marriage fire, or rich with the hue of her heart's desire, tinkling, luminous, tender, unclear, like her bridal laughter and bridal tear. Some are purple and glow-flecked gray, for she who has journeyed through life midway, whose hands have cherished, whose love has blessed, and cradle fair sons on her faithful breast, and serves her household in fruitful pride, and worships the gods at her husband's side. What Naidu does is a trace of women's life story, from a maiden ready for a marriage to a middle-aged wife and mother. So you can see the transformation of a girl. And do remember, this is not now, it's somewhere in 1920s or 1930s. Okay, so the village was portrayed, and the girl is all about small girl turning into puberty, young teenager, getting married, becoming a mother. That was a life cycle for almost 99 to 100% of the girls in India. So in a simple way, she is portraying the lifestyle of a young girl, and with lot of aspirations as a teenager, and after getting at the time of marriage, and after the marriage as a mother. And bangles are very important in the life of especially the girls on those days. The young girls used to wear certain kind of things, and bangles are given to the others also as a token of value. When they used to come home in certain, not only in one religion, Islam, you can see even in the converted Christians, they wear bangles, and not there is different kinds of cult. Even in the forest area, we can see tribes wear different type of bangles with lot of colors made of bamboo, not glass, right? And Hindu religion also supports the bangles for different colors and different occasions. So it is a something which is close to the girls on those days. So it is a part, not only part of an ornament, but also something, a joy that used to cherish, right? So Naidu does it a trance of life story. And women are trained to dress appropriately depending on their age and status, married women, unmarried maidens, etc. That used to be there. Even now we can see that in when it comes to Hindu religion, they when they get married, they get set 2 pieces of Mangal Sutra, and they should keep the kumkum on their forehead. And some bangles are very specific for the married women. When it comes to Islam, women also, they'll have a black beads that they wear after the marriage, and lot of bangles that they wear, and with the anklets also. What is anklet? Anklets, right? So this is specific for women, Indian women, irrespective of any religion. So you can see the romanticism and lyrical poetry, and how Beside had more famous poems on Indian scene. Philosophical and meditative poetry. The Soul Prayer, she includes her poems on life, love, and death, also romantic, and recalls John Keats' poem, The Soul Prayer, she concludes. Right? Comes to nationalism and poetry. So she is a freedom fighter. So she cannot ignore, or maybe her passion towards nationalism is also intertwined in all her poetry. So summing up, Sarojini Naidu poetry appropriates the style and tone of English romantic poets, and her poetry can be treated as romantic because she uses everyday subject, converts them into symbol for something larger, and often sentimentalizes them. Her poetry consists of verse devoted to explorations of Indian landscape and event, with characters like plank pulling bearers, snake charmers, and setting like the banyan trees. So it is all about the trees, about the snake charmers, because Britishers always used to make fun of Indians by stating like we are monkey gods are there for us, like elephant headed, monkey gods, snake charmers, and these are not civilized. But when you look back, who is telling the story, who is narrating the story is important. Whether who is barbarous, whether the person who is narrating, because it is only one perception that we can see. But when you see from Sarojini Naidu's point of view, you can see the life, philosophy, and value system that carried in those days, particularly with the Indian culture and customs, irrespective of religion and geographical conditions. So finally, she is a very, very, very fine poet, and she wrote extensively on nationalism and symbolism is there, and about the landscapes, about the poetry, romanticism, and common life. Okay. So with this, we completed even second block as well. Try to read from that perspective. Please do read. Read and write. Okay. Are you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good, very good. And I can see
Yes,
only 17 people here. And maybe at least tomorrow, I'm expecting they'll keep the assignments for you. Complete the assignments, get ready. See, I'm requesting all of you. It's only 1 month left for us. In the month of May, you'll be having examinations. You are just left with 1.5 months. Okay. Don't waste your time. Whenever it is possible, like having a sip of tea or, tasting a coffee is important for us now and then. The same way, every day you take your book and see and read something which is close to your heart. You're not only going to cherish the textbook and the poetry or poems or drama, but something which is close to your life as well, right? And it's also useful for the examination, because it's not only enjoying the literature, but 1 degree is important for us. And if you come out, minimum is the 55% to, even any examination point of view as well. If you get less than 55%, there is no point in getting that degree in spite of having all the knowledge. So put all of your efforts at least to get 60+%. Okay. Okay, my dear students and my friends. Today we'll take leave. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
I
Thank
don't
you,
know. The last class is Durga, no? Durga's class, right?
Yes, ma'am. Durga, ma'am.
She is not well. She kept a message. Maybe you don't have a class in the evening. Last class, okay?
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay then. Yeah.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Madam, when are the assignments, madam?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Yeah, Balaji sir. Assignments we gave almost a month back to student service branch, and it has to come through student service branch.
Till now, it has not been uploaded, right?
Yes, yes. Not only for our department, but Telugu, Hindi, English, Urdu. Tomorrow I'll find out with student service branch why it is getting delayed, and it's a long delay. Almost more than a month back we submitted. So I'll find out with the director SSB and I'll update you. I think this week they'll do that as soon as possible. I'll see that it will be done.
And one more thing, madam, should we submit it physically or in what you call as compressed form, computer?
No. I want all of you to write, and that is the why we are giving assignment is not for the computer. It is for the writing habit, and you are going to write the examination. For the maybe they may accept for some other subjects, But for Department of English, I made it mandatory. Everyone should write the assignment and submit.
Acha, last time, first year, the way we did, the same thing we'll be doing right now, right?
Yes, ma'am. We wanted to know the same thing. Like how we submitted the hard copies like last time is the same way, no, ma'am? Nothing we have to do to make a PDF and all. We don't have to do that.
Ma'am, because last time when during the meeting they said we have to upload it.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. That's why we are having this doubt.
In the meeting, ma'am, I think the Vice Chancellor, Mr.
No. Don't worry about it. But I'll find out. Even then, upload the page, whatever that you have written, but not the computer copy.
No. Right now, we will submit in a physical form to the center, right?
Yes, definitely. You please do that.
That will suffice, right?
Other definitely.
Than scanning it, uploading it, because we don't know what to do with that, because technology we are not perfect.
Yeah, please don't worry about Balaji, sir. You can submit there, and if required, I'll update that to you in the next class. Okay? You generally do that from whatever that you have done last week, because that is the writing habit. For the writing habit, we are giving assignments. Okay.
There are two advantages here, right? One, physically writing. One, we can always review it, right?
Yes, definitely. That's the reason we are asking you to write.
We will write and then submit there.
Definitely.
And uploading and other things, you kindly exempt us for this time, right?
Yeah, we will. I'll update you regarding this, Balaji, sir. Because even I don't have a meet. I mean, I have to have a meeting with SSB section. Okay, then. Yeah. Take care. Happy reading and happy week. Yeah.
Final examinations will be in June, May, June, right?
May, June. Yeah. Maybe May only, because you are second years. First, it will be for second years. Then comes the first years.
Last class, one madam was telling it will be in October. That's what there are two different opinions. That's why I wanted to clarify.
It will be in the month of May maximum. If not, it will be delayed for June, but not for the October.
Fine, madam.
Okay. Please take care. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Also take care of
you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Take care of your health, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, ma'am.
Bye.